the plan for my salvation, the plan for my salvation to me. You have said the way I am, the way I am to go, the role to take in every step in my appointed path. I cannot lose the way, I cannot lose the way. I can but choose to wander off for a while, and then return, and then return. Your loving voice will always call me back, will always call me back, and guide my feet aright, and guide my feet aright. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them. My brothers can all follow in the way I lead them. Yet I merely follow in the way to you, as you direct me and would have me go. I merely follow, for I would not lead. I merely follow, for I would not lead. So let us follow one who knows the way, for let us follow one who knows the way. We need not tarry, and we cannot stray except an instant. Stray an instant from his loving hand. We walk together, and for we follow him, and it is he who makes the ending sure, and guarantees a safe returning home. I merely follow, for I would not lead. I merely follow, for I would not lead. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Well, thank you all so much for joining me here on the banks of Arkansas River again, and here in Tulsa. We're ready for lesson 324, and we're reading from the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. And if you're reading out of the original edition, it's about the same. The titles are the same, and the readings very similar. They're almost identical. I merely follow, for I would not lead. And this is for Thursday, November the 20th of 2025. And I'm Forgiveness Willie, teaching forgiveness from the Ozarks here in Arkansas currently, and doing the role of, I think some people call it a death doula. Anyway, kind of sitting with my mother-in-law, Trudy, as she makes her transition. She's been on hospice for several months. I merely follow, for I would not lead. And it's a Monday morning for me, or Monday afternoon actually. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Father, you are the one who gave the plan for my salvation to me. You have set the way I am to go, the role to take, and every step in my appointed path. I cannot lose the way. I can but choose to wander off a while and then return. I can choose but to wander off a while and then return. Your loving voice will always call me back. Your loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them. Yet I merely follow in the way to you, as you direct me and would have me go. So let us follow one who knows the way. We need not tarry and we cannot stray, except an instant from his loving hand. We walk together, for we follow him, and it is he who makes the ending sure and guarantees a safe returning home. Okay, well, let's go look at our associated reading back a couple pages. And before I read it, let me just give you that reminder. I try to do it every day because it's so important and it's so easy to forget. It seems like I need to have it reminded to myself, so I remind you, so I'm reminding it to myself that we want to take a longer period of time in the morning and in the evening to hang out with God. You know, a little quiet time, a sweet hour of prayer. If you did a half hour in the morning and a half hour in the evening, that'd be a half hour of prayer. And, you know, just be still and quiet. Let your thoughts be still. God will tell you what you need to think and ask for. And then be sure you're at peace. Ask God for direction to show you what to do for the day. And be sure to give thanks. Do that, a little many of that every hour of the day. And more often if you want, but stay tuned in with God. Make it a habit to at least every hour of the day tune in with God and say your lesson, I merely follow, for I would not lead. And make sure that you are following God and that you're filled with joy. That's how you know you're following God, because you'll be filled with joy. You can't help but do God's will. When you're happy, be thankful. That'll bring you on the grateful frequency is the happy frequency. Anyway, what is creation? Number 11. Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts, in number infinite and everywhere without all limit. Creation is the sum of all God's thoughts, in number infinite and everywhere without all limit. Only love creates and only like itself. There was no time when all that it created was not there, nor will there be a time when anything that it created suffers any loss. Forever and forever are God's thoughts exactly as they were and as they are, unchanged through time and after time is done. God's thoughts are given all the power that their own Creator has, for He would add to love by its extension. Thus His Son shares in creation and must therefore share in power to create. What God has willed to be forever one will still be one when time is over and will not be changed throughout the course of time, remaining as it was before the thought of time began. Creation is the opposite of all illusions, for creation is the truth. Creation is the Holy Son of God, for in creation is His will complete in every aspect, making every part container of the whole. Its oneness is forever guaranteed inviolate, forever held within His holy will, beyond all possibility of harm, of separation, imperfection, or of any spot upon its sinlessness. We are creation, we the sons of God. We seem to be discreet and unaware of our eternal unity with Him. Yet back of all our doubts, past all our fears, there still is certainty. For love remains with all its thoughts, its sureness being theirs. God's memory is in our holy minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their Creator. Let our function be only to let this memory return, and only to let God's will be done on earth, only to be restored to sanity, and to be but as God created us. Let me read that again. God's memory is in our holy minds, which know their oneness and their unity with their Creator. Let our function be only to let this memory return, only to let God's will be done on earth, only to be restored to sanity, and to be but as God created us. Our Father calls to us, we hear His voice, and we forgive creation in the name of its Creator, holiness itself, whose holiness His own creation shares, whose holiness is still a part of us. Okay, and keep in mind again our lesson for today. Can you remember it? I merely follow, for I would not lead. That's just another way of saying step back and let God lead the way, or let go and let God. Okay, and we're ready for our last section of the Manual for Teachers, number 29, As for the Rest. And we're not going to read the whole portion. I think we'll read about the first 5 paragraphs, and then we'll finish it tomorrow. As for the rest, when it as for the rest, there's 3 dots instead of a period. As for the rest, dot, 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 because it really can't be put into words, the rest. This manual is not intended to answer all questions that both teacher and pupil may raise. In fact, it covers only a few of the more obvious ones in terms of a brief summary of some of the major concepts in the text and the workbook. It is not a substitute for either the workbook or the text, but merely a supplement. While it is called a manual for teachers, it must be remembered that only time divides teacher and pupil, so that the difference is temporary by definition. So the teacher is just one who's had a little more time, got a little further down the path. It's like I look for a little place to do my recordings, and sometimes I take a little walk, and then I'm the guide to lead people that are with me to sit where I'm recording. But it's just, I've been here before, so I know the easier way to get to the place. And then I can show, Jessica usually likes to sit close where I'm recording. And so I find a nice way. Well, I'm her guide then. Well, when you've been studying A Course in Miracles, you become the guide to your brothers and sisters. But they're just the same as you. They're also a teacher, just haven't spent as much time maybe. While it is called a manual for teachers, it must be remembered that only time divides teacher and pupil, so that the difference is temporary by definition. In some cases, it may be helpful for the pupil to read the manual first. Others might do better to begin with the workbook. Still others may need to start at the more abstract level of the text. So he's saying you can start with either the text, which is, it's the, he calls it the abstract level of the text. Then there's the workbook, which is much more practical, hands-on. Or you might start with the manual for teachers. I like to encourage people, if you can, read the manual for teachers first as you start your workbook. Start the workbook, lesson 1, and do the manual for teachers, and do one at every day. And then at the end, after you've gone through the whole year of the workbook for students, and you've read the text, then go back and read the manual for teachers again. First time you read it was as a student, learning a lot of answers about what A Course in Miracles is all about. But then as you have finished the workbook, you read it again, you read it as a teacher. Others might do better to begin with the workbook. Still others may need to start at the more abstract level of the text. Paragraph 2. Which is for which? Who would profit more from prayers alone? Who needs but a smile? Being as yet unready for more. No one should attempt to answer these questions alone. Surely no teacher of God has come this far without realizing that. The curriculum is highly individualized, and all aspects are under the Holy Spirit's particular care and guidance. Ask and He will answer. The responsibility is His, and He alone is fit to assume it. To do so is His function. To refer the question to Him is yours. To ask God what to do. That's your part. He'll guide you. Would you want to be responsible for decisions about which you understand so little? Be glad you have a teacher who cannot make a mistake. His answers are always right. Would you say that of yours? Paragraph 3. There is another advantage, and a very important one, in referring decisions to the Holy Spirit with increasing frequency. Perhaps you have not thought of this aspect, but its centrality is obvious. To follow the Holy Spirit's guidance is to let yourself be absolved from guilt, or absolved of guilt. It is the essence of the atonement, or the at-one-ment. It is the core of the curriculum to be absolved of guilt. The imagined usurping of functions not your own is the basis of fear. The imagined usurping of functions not your own is where fear comes from, is the basis of fear. The whole world, you see, reflects the illusion that you have done so, making fear inevitable. To return the function to the one to whom it belongs is thus the escape from fear. And it is this that lets the memory of love return to you. Do not then think that following the Holy Spirit's guidance is necessarily, do not then think that following the Holy Spirit's guidance is necessary merely because of your own inadequacies. It is the way out of hell for you. Wow, so following the Holy Spirit's guidance is the way out of fear, or the way out of hell. It's to recognize that you're not guilty in any form or fashion. Paragraph 4. Here again is the paradox often referred to in the Course. To say, of myself I can do nothing, is to gain all power. Of myself I can do nothing. So when you kind of start your day off saying, God, I want you to guide me today. And every hour of the day reinforce that, saying your lesson and asking for guidance. Today saying, I merely follow, for I would not lead. And then as you do that throughout the day, and then at night you return to Him for thanks, ask, kind of review the day, make sure that you were at peace all day. See if there's things you can learn that you did that day in your quiet at the evening. But as you learn to do that, you'll be saying, of myself I can do nothing. And in saying that is to gain all power. And yet it is but a seeming paradox. Let's read paragraph 4 beginning again. Here again is the paradox often referred to in the Course. To say of myself I can do nothing is to gain all power. And yet it is but a seeming paradox. As God created you, you have all power. The image you made of yourself has none. So we've picked up an image of ourselves that isn't powerful. We feel like we're very vulnerable and weak. And yet the way God created us is with all power. That's the paradox. That you can live in a world where you seem vulnerable, but the truth is that you're invulnerable. We just keep asking the Holy Spirit. It's the choices we make on our own apart from Him that brings hell into our experience, or fear. The image you made of yourself has none. As God created you, you have all power. The image you made of yourself has no power. The Holy Spirit knows the truth about you. The image you made does not. Yet despite its obvious and complete ignorance, this image assumes it knows all things because you have given that belief to it. Such is your teaching, and the teaching of the world that was made to uphold it. But the teacher who knows the truth has not forgotten it. His decisions bring benefit to all. being wholly devoid of attack, and therefore incapable of arousing guilt. And let's read paragraph 5 and then we'll stop for today. Let me mark this. Who assumes a power that he does not possess is deceiving himself. Yet to accept the power given him by God is but to acknowledge his Creator and accept his gifts. And his gifts have no limit. To ask the Holy Spirit to decide for you is simply to accept your true inheritance. Wow, isn't that nice to know? Let me read that. To ask the Holy Spirit to decide for you is simply to accept your true inheritance. Now, the answer will still be a desire, a feeling to do something. That's how God guides you, with your own will, your own desire, doing exactly what you want to do. But the difference is that instead of following the ego's guidance, you're learning to follow the Holy Spirit, the voice for peace, the voice for power. To ask the Holy Spirit to decide for you is simply to accept your true inheritance. Does this mean that you cannot say anything without consulting Him? No, indeed. That would hardly be practical, and it is the practical with which this course is most concerned. If you have made it a habit to ask for help when and where you can be confident that wisdom will be given you when you need it. Prepare for this each morning. Remember God when you can throughout the day. Ask the Holy Spirit's help when it is feasible to do so, and thank Him for His guidance at night. And your confidence will be well-founded indeed. Okay. Okay, well, we'll finish reading that 29th chapter page in Manual for Teachers tomorrow. Okay, what's going on around the world? I found that it's sigged for the Ethiopian Jews' Day, which is 50 days after Yom Kippur. Nativity fast for Orthodox Christians continues. And then out of holidays and observances, I found that it's African Industrialization Day. And you know, they really have a lot to offer by not being industrialized. Maybe we lost a lot by becoming industrialized. I know it would sure be a nice, beautiful world in my mind if we had a little industry, but basically we let the world be a Garden of Eden everywhere. Beaujolais Nouveau Day, which I'm not sure I'm pronouncing it right, but it's from the gammy red grape, and it's when that wine is released. It's the release date. It's a Vitis vinifera. I think it's a French grape. Beautiful day. Every day should be a beautiful day. Matter of fact, feel the beauty every moment of the day, and when you're not feeling beauty, ask God for guidance, because you're making a decision on your own, because God's world is heaven. It's beautiful. Children Grief Awareness Day. Educator for a Day, community involvement in education. Future Teachers of America Day. Globally Organized Hug a Runner Day. Great American Smokeout, be a good day to quit smoking. I might mention that Jessica's been 2 years now without smoking tobacco. I think she started when she was like a teenager, young teenager. Name Your PC Day. Absurdity Day. I don't know, to me that's kind of absurd to name your PC, but why not if it makes you have fun? Absurdity Day. Peanut Butter Fudge Day. I like chocolate. Cacao, which is what fudge is made from. Cacao, Theobroma cacao is the fudge or the chocolate, and peanuts are Arachis hypogea. Rural Health Day, Social Enterprise Day, Transgender Day of Remembrance, Universal Children's Day, Use Less Stuff Day. Well, that seems good advice. World Pancreatic Cancer Day and World Philosophy Day. And out of Seed Savers Exchange, we've got another premium late Dutch cabbage, a Brassica oleracea, the premium late flat Dutch cabbage, also known as drumhead or surehead, introduced to the United States by German immigrants around 1840, listed in the 1924 catalog of DM Ferry and Company. Solid blue-green flatheads with white interior, weighs 10 to 15 pounds. Excellent for late fall and winter use. 100 days from transplant. Okay, well, let's see if we can get our, are we looking, well, we need to move right along and get our song sang on time, huh? Okay, well, let's do just that. Close with our song. And thank you all so much. Oh, our word for peace is from the Ainu people of northern Japan on the island of Hokkaido mainly. And the word is Apunno. Apunno. Apunno be with you. Peace be with you. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Father, you are the one who gave the plan for my salvation to me. You have set the way I am to go, the role to take and every step in my appointed path. I cannot lose the way, I can but choose to wander off a while and then return. Your loving voice will always call me back and guide my feet aright. My brothers all can follow in the way I lead them, yet I merely follow in the way to you, as you direct me and would have me go. I merely follow, for I would not lead. I merely follow, for I would not lead. So let us follow one who knows the way. We need not tarry, and we cannot stray except an instant. We cannot stray except an instant from his loving hand. We walk together, for we follow him, and it is he who makes the ending sure and guarantees a safe returning home. I merely follow, for I would not lead. I merely follow, for I would not lead. And may I say peace in Ainu people of Japan? Apunno. Apunno be with you. Peace be with you. Thank you for joining me here on the banks of the Arkansas River in Tulsa. I merely follow, for I would not lead. Apunno.